Hi, my name is Crystal, and I want to take you on my journey from being diagnosed with some scary stuff all the way through having a hysterectomy at the age of 39, and now I'm almost 3.5 weeks post-op. So I wanted to start this and do it as it was happening, but to be honest, I had so many things going through my head that this was the last thing on my mind, was making a video. But now that I'm on this side of it, I know that I would have really liked to have kind of a real talk, real reaction, real feeling kind of video to watch. A lot of things that I see out there now seem kind of scary, especially the comments. There are bad doctors and there's bad situations, but before you do anything I'm about to talk about, I advise you to basically interview your doctor, please. You need to make sure that they are the right doctor for you. If you don't feel comfortable speaking with them within, I'd say, 5 minutes or so, they don't need to have another chance. That's just the way it is. Now, I know there's probably some situations where maybe you don't have a choice, maybe because of the healthcare system in your country, your insurance, whatever. But please seek out other choices if you're not comfortable. Plain and simple. If you get a scary diagnosis and it's something that you're not too sure is the correct diagnosis, or what they've shown you doesn't make you feel that it's right, get another opinion. This is your body, and you need to take control of these doctor's appointments, the tests, and what is done to your body. You don't have to blindly agree. Now that I'm done preaching, I'll tell you about my experience. So, after a year-long menstrual period, with only having a couple days off a month, if I was lucky, and having labor pains literally every 2 weeks, I finally went to the doctor. I know, I shouldn't have waited that long, and I'm begging all of you that are watching this that have had this happen, do not wait 1 year and suffer and spend countless amounts of money and doing tons of bedding changes and laundry and all of that crap. Just go to the doctor. Please just go to the doctor, because I could have had this taken care of a year ago and I would be living a normal life now. Sorry, preached again. Moving on. So I went to the doctor, and she wanted me to do a internal ultrasound or sonogram, however you want to look at it. I guess it was a sonogram. And then she wanted to do a biopsy. Well, she gave me some pills. One I was supposed to take at the ultrasound, and the other I was supposed to take for the biopsy. That will dilate my cervix enough for her to get certain things through that need to go through with as little pain as possible. We weren't able to do the full internal sonogram because she was not able to get the tube that had the camera on it through my cervix. It was just way too painful. So we went with, she used the wand to do an internal ultrasound. Found out that my cervix was almost 3 times the thickness that it's actually supposed to be when it's healthy. So look that up, multiply it times 3. That's how thick mine was. And there was kind of some thoughts. They thought they saw some fibroids and whatnot. So obviously we were already doing the biopsy, so she was going to find out more then. Biopsy, took the pill. This time the pill that was for dilation, I honestly believed I was going to have a baby. I mean, it was the most ungodly pain I've ever felt. Not gonna lie. Had my mom take me to the appointment so I could take a couple of Vicodin before I went in, because she had prescribed me this beforehand, knowing that I would be in pain. Probably be in pain after. Bless her heart. had some stuff. But she didn't prescribe me many. Like, it was maybe like 2 or 3. I took 2 that day, and went in, and along with some Advil. Yeah, that was it. So by the time I got in there, I was feeling pretty good, still in pain. She did the biopsy, and there's a part during the biopsy where she kind of floods, well, kind of does like a wash with liquid, and basically it numbs everything inside. You feel nothing. She was able to get what she could. I guess my cervix was just being stubborn, and with my uterus being so thick, she had a hard time getting through and getting in there, because she didn't want to cause any kind of problem by going through the uterine wall, or scratching the cervix or anything like that. Got the test results back that I had complex hyperplasia without atypia. Basically what that means is that my lining would thicken up every month like it's supposed to do, like it's getting ready to hold a baby when the egg drops, and when there's no fertilization, it sheds, right? That's our menstrual period. Mine would thicken and then not move, and thicken and not move, and it went on and on and on like that, which is why I actually did not have periods for, oh my gosh, for forever. I'd spot here and there, have a light one here and there, but it wasn't regular. It was maybe a couple times a year, literally. And it just kept building up and building up. Well, finally, it had enough, and it started pushing through. Well, if you can imagine all of that thickness and all that lining inside there pushing out, that's painful. So, and it was coming, and once it started coming out, it wouldn't stop. So, hence the year-long period. Did the biopsy, got the results back, all that stuff. So, her next thing, she wanted to do a D&C. A D&C is basically where they go in and they dilate you, and they either use suction or a little tool to kind of, and this is going to sound terrible, scrape, to clean out the inside of your uterus. Like, literally, they're going to go in and get all that icky stuff out, and they're going to pull it out, and they're going to run it through pathology and find out what's going on. Well, in the meantime, when you do that, that should slow down how much you're bleeding. You're going to cramp, obviously. I had that day off. I took that following day off. Actually, the following next 2 days off, because I was hurting pretty bad. And that was just the way. I mean, I guess I'm pretty sensitive for when it comes to pain in that particular area. So I was not feeling good. That, and I had an allergic reaction to the wash they used on the inside. So wasn't pretty. Moving on. The results came back from the D&C, and it was complex hyperplasia. This time it was with atypia. Now, without atypia means that, the cells in there are fairly normal. They're just, there could be some fibroids or whatever happening on the inside of your uterus. With atypia basically means that the cells in there are abnormal, and while they're not cancerous, they are considered pre-cancerous. Meaning, if I decided to keep my uterus, I would probably have to go on a bunch of hormones and medications, and I was going to develop uterine cancer at some point. That's just the reality of it. At 39, I have no kids, I've never been married. I don't want kids. As far as my own, I don't want to have children, and at this point, I don't want any children at all. I love kids. I just don't want any of my own. So it was a very easy decision for me to have a hysterectomy. It's actually something I've wanted for a long time because, well, honestly, it's just a pointless piece of organ inside of me that is causing me trouble when I don't need it. I'm not going to use it for what it's in there for. So the decision was made, and it was scary. It was a very scary lead up because we were trying to get it done before the end of the year, and it all happened. Looking back, it happened really fast, but while I was waiting, felt like it took forever. My DNC was on October 25th. I spoke with my doctor beginning of November about the results. And we were able to get me in to have my hysterectomy on, excuse me, on December 13th of this past year. So December 13th, 2016, 3.5 weeks ago. And yeah, it was scary, because there's several different kinds of hysterectomies you can have, and mine happened to be for short, LAVH, which stands for a laparoscopically assisted vaginal hysterectomy. And I'll explain more on what that is in the next video. So hopefully I've kind of made you understand the lead up. Maybe you're watching this and think, oh man, I should go get tested, or hey, I just went through that. You're not alone, and if you have questions, I'll answer them, and if you don't, I'll see you on the next video. Bye.